How do you guys sort of predict the odds on the likely outcomes right now, Trevor?
Yeah, Brian, thanks for having me.
Sure.
Right now, we see that the Dems are likely to take the House, but we think that the Republicans are most likely to hold on to the Senate. We put that at about 2-1, that's the most likely outcome. You can see Republicans hanging on to the House and also holding on to the Senate, sort of a status quo scenario there, something around the 20% range. And then a Dem sweep is looking less and less likely, put that down around 10%. Hard to see a scenario where Democrats can take control of the Senate, but Republicans hold on to the House.
If the Democrats take the House, as is the sort of the likely scenario now, according to your odds and others, is that bad for things like oil companies? Is it bad for things like J.P. Morgan, the big banks, because of increased regulatory scrutiny and perhaps a return to some of the regulations that the president has tried to remove from those industries?
Well, I think it's important to remember that President Trump will be president on November 7th, no matter what happens the day before. And so the regulatory environment or the deregulatory environment, in the coming out of the administration, I think will stay the same. You're certainly going to see Democrats taking shots at some of the larger sectors there that you mentioned, the energy names, financial services. Those are sectors that I think you can expect to see hauled up in front of House committees for testimony. But there are some positives that you could see come out of a scenario like that, too. I think from an infrastructure perspective, for instance, looking for common ground with the House and Senate, House Ds, Senate Republicans. An infrastructure bill would probably require a hike to the gas tax. That's something that can work better if both parties have a way to share some of that pain.
If things stay the same, if the Republicans hold on, even by a narrow majority, is it bad for Facebook, Google, and big tech?
Certainly, I don't think it helps. It's interesting to see Republicans leading the way here from an antitrust perspective, but obviously the accusations of liberal bias within a lot of the big tech companies aren't going away anytime soon, and I wouldn't expect a Republican victory on Election Day to change that sentiment.